What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to an episode of the Grief Bully Podcast. I am your host, J.Nicole. Guys, we're going to get right into this conversation today. I'm feeling like this is going to be one that a lot of us can relate to. Although I've survived my fair share of heartache, that has not come without the cost of losing some of the best parts of me. So I recently posted this quote on Instagram, and it says, "I've survived my fair share of heartache, but not without taking some of the best parts of me with it. Life took some of the best parts of me with it." And maybe you can relate to that. Oftentimes we go through these struggles in life, we go through our problems, we deal with adversity, and then we realize, man, I don't feel like the same person. I don't feel like myself. Who am I now? How do I refine those parts of me? And I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about this. And so we go through these issues and these problems and these obstacles, and then we get through them and we're like, man, that was really difficult. And this is the thing, life goes on, and then time passes, and then we forget what that struggle was like. We lose sight of the adversity that we faced. And so with that being said, we're not realizing how run down we actually are, how difficult those things we went through actually are. But when we take the time and we look back at those things that we went through, man, it can really be empowering to help us combat and overcome what we're faced with right now. A lot of the things that we go through, to be honest with you, are similar to things that we've experienced at some other point in our lives. It just may be dressed differently. It just might be looking different. And so it might catch us off guard. But if we look back and say, how is this similar to something I've been through before? What were some of the things that I did in order to get through this time? What helped me with this struggle? And I was offering this advice in a conversation with a friend because I was explaining how I feel more equipped to deal with loss now than I did in the past. Does that mean that I'm not going to feel pain and be shattered and devastated with certain losses that I might face in my life? Absolutely not. But it does mean that I can look back and say, wow, I was knocked down to nothing. When I got those phone calls about the loved ones that had passed away, when I got the phone call about people being arrested, certain things happening, different levels of trauma, and then I'm like, wow, I made it through all of that. It's like you've already survived 100% of your worst days. And so what I use that for is to help me when being faced with new difficulties that, hey, I thought before that I would never get through those times. I would never make it through those moments. And look at me. I made it through. Look at you. You made it through. It doesn't always feel like that. It doesn't always feel good. But when we really realize how much we've overcome, it can give you a little sigh of relief. Maybe you feel a little more relieved, like, wow, that was really difficult. And I did get through it. But we lose sight of that. It's like out of sight, out of mind. But I want you to use that as your confidence, as your hope, as that little piece of hope that you might need to endure this season. Is that I've endured seasons like this before. Is that fair? No. It's not fair that we continue to have to face all of these problems that come with it. But is it true? Is it a fact? Is it reality that life is unexpected? And that some of the things that we go through, we just literally cannot control. But the parts of it that we can control are how we respond and how we show up and how we act. And so that's what I'm challenging you to do now, is just look at those things. And where it really helps is when we talk about loss and that we go through these multiple losses and sometimes back to back, it brings up fear. I personally have had the fear of going through these things again, realizing what that actually was like and that pain and how I've got to go through this again. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to experience the sleepless nights and the crying till my head is filled like it's about to explode, and the funeral planning and visits to the hospitals and all of these things. It's scary. And if you let it, fear will absolutely keep you bound. It will captivate you. It will swallow you up, and it will paralyze you. It still will steal more and more of those parts of you. It doesn't have to be anything super profound. It could be the parts of you that just loves traveling, that loves to laugh, to go out, to do this, to eat certain foods. We can have fear of our own mortality to the point where we don't do anything. We don't leave the house. We don't go. We don't hang out. And right now with the pandemic and the way that things are continuing to go with COVID-19 and all the different variants, it's making some people not even want to go to work. Forget about social events. Forget about extracurricular activities and things like that. It's the mandatory things that we've got to continue to face every single day. One of the reasons why I'm recording at the home studio right now is because of different levels of COVID exposure that are out there amongst myself and other folks. It's a reality right now. And so I don't want fear to keep me stuck. Absolutely not. We can take certain precautions, but at the end of the day, we do have to try to continue to lean into the parts of our lives that we enjoy most. And podcasting and being able to speak with you all each and every week is something that I truly love. So I had to figure it out. So I hope that the episode, you guys will be able to still enjoy it. The sound quality, the video, everything, we're still trying to bring it to you as top tier as possible of what we have right now. But it was really important to get this content out because I feel like there's a lot of us that are feeling defeated. We're well underway in the new year, a couple weeks in, and things may not be feeling so great. But have there been any other years where you felt like that, but by the end, by December 31st, you were feeling good, you were feeling hopeful, feeling positive? Just keep reminding yourself, I've been through this before. I can get through it again. I can get through it again. I believe in you. Trust me, that fear, I already told a story in a couple episodes back how it had me afraid to fly. I thought I was going to die. I really thought as soon as I got in the plane, I was going to die. And I want to tell you that it took me 5 years. But I was able to get out and get onto a plane this past summer and go on vacation with my family and my friends. And it really felt so good to do that. But fear was definitely trying to keep me hostage. It was trying to stop me from doing that. But I had to push past that because you know why? I deserved it. You deserve it. You deserve to push past that fear. On the other side of that fear is so much joy for you. It's so much joy for you. And although, yes, you survived the heartache, and yes, you came out on the other side of the fire, a little burnt, a little charred, a little devastated and defeated, but you still came out and you came out strong. And I believe in you. And I know we're going to keep being able to do this. Grief doesn't play fair. It does not play fair. It does not care. And it will absolutely meet you where you are. It's so imperative for us to understand the importance of taking care of our mental wellness, our mental well-being every single day, making a deposit into ourselves that's going to fill us up, that's going to give us that power that we need to keep pushing through. So we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep pushing through. We're going to keep staring fear right in the eyes and say, you've got to hit harder than that. You have to hit harder than that. I don't know what version of myself is coming out on the other side of this, but I am coming out on the other side of this. And I'm going to learn. I'm going to allow my experiences, allow my shortcomings, allow my obstacles to be my education. It's going to be my education. It's going to help me have the wisdom that I need in this current season and seasons to come. And then in conversations with other people to help empower them as well, because I'm going to learn. I am nothing more than lessons learned. However, my lessons do not lessen me. I am nothing more than lessons learned. However, my lessons do not lessen me. How powerful is that, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to wrap this episode 126 up with those very words. The next time you start to feel defeated and you feel like you took an L, you feel like you lost in that season, remind yourself, it's never a loss. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow from it. Or I'm going to do both. Guys, thank you for rocking with me for another episode of Grieffully Podcast. Looking forward to getting back into the studio soon. Until then, provided we got to do this again next time, I appreciate you. I love you guys. And if you're not already, what are you doing? Go follow me over on Instagram at I_am_J.Nicole, guys. So next time, you already know, love and light. Peace.